is and what he says, rather than what he is supposed to have done. Thank you. Now, I know Tommy isn't faultless, and I'm sure that he would be the first person to admit it, but he has now become a symbol of the opposition to so much that we know is rotten in our society. Some people will tell you that Tommy Robinson is a criminal, and he has indeed, on occasion, broken the law. But a real criminal is someone who defends upon the weak, who preys upon the weak and the defenceless. Tommy Robinson is somebody who has chosen to defend the weak and the helpless. Some people who have broken the law have gone on to become heroes and heroines. The suffragettes broke the law. They are now national heroines. Mahatma Gandhi broke the law. He was arrested and convicted 13 times between 1908 and 1942. He is now regarded as a national hero of Indian independence. Nelson Mandela served 28 years in prison for terrorist offences. He was actually conspiring to murder people, yet he is now regarded as an international hero. These people were convicted criminals, but history has judged that they were on the right side of a great cause. Now, Robin Hood broke the law. He hunted the king's deer in the king's forest, and he was technically a criminal. But Robin Hood defended his own people, while the Sheriff of Nottingham oppressed them. Whose side would you rather be on, Robin Hood or the Sheriff of Nottingham? Whose side do you want to be on now, Tommy Robinson's or the political establishment? History will judge Tommy Robinson as being on the right side of a great cause in a struggle between good and evil. He talks about and combats the greatest social scandal in our history, the industrialised and commercial sexual slavery of underage and vulnerable children by organised paedophile rape gangs. This is the issue that the authorities did not want to confront for decades, and only now are reluctantly doing so. Almost every week we hear of a new paedophile rape gang trial. It's given minimal coverage in the media and then forgotten about until the next time. The great British media do not want to talk about the group identity of the majority of the rapists or the ideology that inspires them. The rape gang members are predominantly followers of the cult of Muhammad. They justify their crimes to themselves because of the ideology that they follow. Non-cult followers are lesser human beings. Women are the possessions of men. The founder of their cult was himself a paedophile and kept sex slaves. And yet he is held up to be the perfect model of a man for all times. But we, the infidels and the Kafirs, are not supposed to talk about it. And people who do face the possibility of prosecution under our so-called hate laws. So it's hardly surprising then, is it, that we now have a big problem with some of the more literally minded followers of the Mohammedan cult. Tommy Robinson's real crime is to be prepared to confront those issues when those in authority do not want to. Our great British media don't want to talk about it. Our political class don't want to talk about it. But Tommy was prepared to stand up against evil and is now paying the price. He will go down in fame. They will go down in infamy. Our government has become the enemy of its own people. Nowhere is that more obvious than in Mrs May and Brexit. 2 years ago, the British people voted to leave the European Union. Mrs May's proposal of last weekend shows that she intends to betray that decision. That betrayal is absolutely blatant, and she doesn't care that you know it's absolutely blatant. Mrs May is doing exactly what she was always intending to do. She intends to make a deal with the European Union whereby we leave in name but not in reality. The Leave side won the referendum against all the odds. Ordinary, decent British people voted to regain their freedom. Their desire for freedom will not be crushed. But the real fight is only just beginning. Both our Houses of Parliament are full of traitors, collaborators and quislings. The House of Lords contains convicted criminals much worse than anything Tommy Robinson's ever done. And they make laws over us. They must be swept away. We're governed by MPs who would rather see us ruled by Brussels than our own democratically elected countrymen and women. Now, it's great to see so many of you come out on a hot afternoon at rallies like these. But you know that our politicians do not care how many people, how many hundreds of thousands, or even how many millions turn out at rallies. The only thing that our treacherous political class cares about is losing votes and losing their seats. So we have to make that happen for them. If you want to make a difference, then you have to organise politically. And that means joining and working with and for a political party. Now, since becoming UKIP's leader last February, its members and I have saved the party from destruction, and we are building it up for the future. We are raising money, we are recruiting new members, and we are going up in the opinion polls. UKIP secured the referendum and won the referendum. But we have now to fight great battles for the future. I want UKIP to be a populist party. I want its policies to be popular with a majority of the electorate. I want UKIP to be the party of freedom. Yes, yes! Freedom from the European Union. Freedom to live under our laws and not the laws made in Brussels. Freedom to live under laws made by a parliament of patriotic MPs, not a parliament of traitors. And I want to see freedom of speech. Not for that freedom to be abused, but the freedom to discuss ideologies and ideas without the fear of being arrested for voicing an opinion or stating a fact. I want us to have the freedom to speak the plain truth to each other. And I want us to have the freedom to once more be able to be openly proud of our own country's great history and our heritage. And not for our children and our young people to be told that it's something they should be ashamed of. And I want our descendants to be free, not to have to live under Islamic ideology. Islam, as Winston Churchill rightfully pointed out in 1898, is the most regressive force on earth. If you want those things, then I ask you to rally to UKIP's banner. Be among the steadily growing number of people who are joining UKIP. UKIP is the only real opposition to the political establishment of Theresa's traitors and Corbyn's commies. Hey. Now, today, the 14th of